you could witness what Wardog and I talk about before
Right
we go
before.
live, like right before we go live, because we have a great time. We've never really chatted about this, but Ordog, I have my pizza in front of me. I got my dinner. Um, do you want to tell the people how we know each other and how this like friendship, like we've never really
That's a
talked
great
about that.
point.
Like we've never really mentioned how we became boys.
How we became boys. Yeah. So I guess Travis
You have
loves
to
telling the
start.
story.
You have to start all the way. You know where you have to start. You
Travis
have to start.
loves telling the story from the very top because Travis and I met before college technically even started. We were
Yep.
in a fellowship program together that met a week or maybe a couple days before school started, basically. But Travis, from everything that we love and know about Travis, Travis was late
Yep.
to this orientation
I
for the
was like,
group by a few minutes, by like 2 or 3 minutes, not long at all, right?
no,
Oh,
David, it was 10.
all right,
It's
so
not.
my memory has been kind to Travis. So Travis
But
arrives
sorry, not
10
to
minutes
interrupt.
late.
The reason I know that I'm 10 minutes late is because Howell showed up 5 minutes late and told me that. And that's how I know I was more than 5 minutes. But continue.
So um, I guess maybe I'd even already said something to Pat then if he was late also. But Travis
You
shows up.
did. You did.
There we go. So Travis shows up 10 minutes late, and I say something to Travis about being
Mm-hmm.
late.
Mm-hmm. He does.
And I believe we smiled at each other after that and became fast friends.
No, I remember me actually saying, "Who the fuck is this guy? What an asshole!" Like, and then you grew on me.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
and that's how it really happened.
Yeah, and you said real recognize real. Takes an asshole to know an asshole. I must love this guy.
Yo, game recognized game, my friend.
But I also thought like I think Travis, whatever you probably rolled in with a backwards hat on with
Hmm.
like hot high cut above the knee bro shorts and like
I had wings. I had wings back there.
wings. Oh,
I
Travi,
had wings.
you had
I had
wings. So
wings.
like I
I had
knew
wings.
I knew that you were a guy that I knew from my high school also, right?
Yeah,
So it's like
you'd met
I
me before in a different manner. You'd met
not
me before.
you,
Yeah.
but like someone that I was like I could mess with this guy and he'll be cool, right? Like I knew that. And that's part of why it happened also. So Travis and I met before college, right before college started.
Yep.
And um and then I guess the rest of it was just like being in classes and then being, interested in hockey and being interested in other things that we like. And that was how we became friends.
I think it ended up being so much of the fact that we are very similar in a lot of ways.
But yeah,
Like I think,
our neuroses
yeah,
are like that.
are very like symbiotic.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and
and
I
also school, I think I mean, just like not not that this is like why we're friends, but we definitely spent time together because like we were working on school.
yeah, I think like correct me if I'm wrong, and this may be a hot take. I don't know if we were in the fellowship program together, we ever would have become friends.
Hold on, say that one more time.
I don't think if we were in the fellowship program together, we ever would have become friends.
Probably not.
I think that we are both acquired tastes, right? Like
No, no,
we're
no, that's
both
not it. It's not it's just a specific, it's just like we're not
n-
for everyone.
we're
And
not for everyone.
that's
That's what
fine.
that's what but like we're for each other. And I
We're
think that like we're like so much up each other's alleys, and I don't think we ever would have gotten to hang out enough if it wasn't for
maybe.
classes and having projects and stuff together, that we ever really would have just been like, this is my boy for life. And like
Boys for
that's
life, no, that's true. But at the same
like
time, Travis,
I
like we became
if
friends. we became friends pretty quickly, and we stayed friends all throughout college and after. And I think like it is early on we were doing friendship and schoolwork together, definitely.
Yeah, but I hope that this is you are my longest standing friend from Elon for no other
Travis.
purpose than you're the person that I met the first. Like, there's no one I've met early enough. Like, I know I still have a bunch of my friends, like Casey Cannon, right? Like friends that
Right.
I met freshman year and I became friends with freshman year. But like
No
I
one
didn't
else
meet
is the
any. I
number
didn't.
day
Yeah,
one.
I didn't meet anybody earlier than you. Like we met so early, and it's like it's very funny how you and I have always, no matter where we've lived, because we never have really lived in the same place except for that 1 year
New
when
York
you in
summer,
New York summer. That was it. That was the only time,
the
the
intern year.
internship,
And still
and
I feel like we were in very different going out circles still at that point. Not very different, just like we were going out together. Don't get me wrong. We did. We
yeah,
absolutely did.
absolutely didn't.
Which Travis, it just reminds me of some of the most insane things that
Yeah, but those
I've
are not for
ever.
the those aren't for here.
Not for this one. Anyway, fair enough. Fair enough.
Those are for here.
Goodness gracious. Oh man. All right. Anyway, so Travis and I know each other. We got a long history of work and play. Long history of work
Yeah,
and play.
long history of work and play, and it's very. I don't know. It's funny to me that you and I, after doing this for nearly a year, have never actually
Said how this all
said
came
that,
together.
like said how this all came together. And once you meet a boy for life, he's your boy for life, and you guys end up doing stuff together, chatting. And he's you know, I've always been so supportive of David's comedic career and everything he does with that. Like I would think he is. You'll hear it from me first. I think he's one of the funniest people I know. Like he has just such a good sense of comedic timing, comedy. It's dry. It's just like me. I love every
Sure,
aspect
sure,
of it.
sure, sure, sure. Whatever,
Sure.
Trav.
Whatever,
Appreciate it.
bro. Whatever, bro.
Really nice stuff, Trav.
And I think that I've always been supportive of him, and when I started this, he's been very supportive of me, and I think it made all the sense in the world that when we ended up, doing this, it ended up being us together because we just we love sports, we love ripping packs, we love talking shit, we love just shooting it around.
Oh, all
And
that stuff made me so excited when you just said that list of things that I love. I was like, oh my god, I love this. Can we shout out? We have Zane, Vale Gamer, and Hawk all in the chat. Let's go,
let's
dude.
go. What's up, peeps? How you guys
Hello,
doing?
hello.
Welcome to
And then
Slabs on Sunday.
someone said, are this SpongeBob actor? Yes, we are the actors from SpongeBob. That's why we sound as awesome as we do. Thank you
As
for
there are,
asking.
yes, I am Patrick. He is SpongeBob. Um, and that is, I sorry
I'm
if you.
Sandy. I'm Sandy Squirrel.
I'm Mr. Krabs. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm Plankton. Gary, I'm Gary the snail. I say a lot, dude. Trav, we got all right.
I'm Gary this
Travis,
now.
we
Or
have a
dog.
bunch of stuff going on. We got rants to get into. We got
We got rants.
baseball. We got packs to crack. We got hockey
We got
stuff that we could
hockey on
talk
right
about.
now.
Hockey
Yep.
on right now. We got what else am I missing? There's other
I
stuff I'm
wanna.
missing.
We got a bunch of other stuff. I'm almost done with my food, and because of that, I have the question for you, which when I'm done, I will answer. We're both big hockey fans, right? Playoff
Yes.
hockey's right now. I'm watching the Panthers Leafs game. It's in intermission. Um, who Neither one of our teams are in the playoffs. Who do you want? Are you going to say Canes? Who do you want to
Yes.
win the Stanley Cup this year?
Yes. I mentioned it before. I want the Canes. I think after the Bruins, there is a hold on. I'm missing a team. There's a team that's wiped from my mind right now that I need. But then the next team is going to be the Hurricanes, excuse me, for sure, because They're
Well,
here.
who's this team that's
Well, who
just
am
out
I
of your
not
mind right
thinking? I'm like thinking of a hockey team that I like that I always like them. I always want them to do well.
now? East or West?
I don't.
Oh my god, are you just like lost like a puppy right now for
Maybe it's like
what
Minneapolis or something. I don't know. Like I always
you,
like to see like the Wild doing well. You know.
the Wild? That is a speaking of wild, that is a wild one to throw out there.
No, I know, dude. Listen, that's
Shout out Kirill Kaprizov.
I said something similar last week, and I was like, I'm always like Bruins. I want to win number one. The number two team is blank, and then Carolina because I'm here. Absolutely right after the Bruins are out, let Carolina take it. You know, but there was another team I mentioned. I just can't think. Maybe it's you know what? It's probably Pittsburgh. I honestly became a huge Pittsburgh fan over the last like year and a half. Just like not because they're doing the best, but just because their
That's
story
a hot
because
take.
I learned more about their story and how insane like Crosby living with Lemieux when he got
Hmm.
drafted. Like I just fell in love with the story of Pittsburgh of Lemieux like going through every I think we talked about this on an episode a long time ago, but maybe not on here, maybe not written down. But love Lemieux, like what a story, what a way to like bring and keeping hockey in Pittsburgh when he did,
Yep.
surviving cancer, bringing the team back, helping Sid the Kid become who he is. Like the story is just so amazing. How can you not be a fan? So that's probably the other team that I mentioned. Anyway, that's what I got. So Carolina, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's fair. I've one from the East and one from the West. But I'm also before I say that, I gotta get my paper towels so I
Trev, do
can
you
open
hate?
cards.
Did you hate me saying Pittsburgh?
I didn't love it. I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't. It wasn't something that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get behind this and make comments. I was just gonna kind of let you rant and be like, you know what, this is how he feels,
it's,
and
it's
he's
just
my
how I feel,
boy,
man.
and
Just
so
how I
like
feel.
I'm gonna let him ride that lightning.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
so I have a team from the East and I have a team from the West. I've always been Alexander Ovechkin fan. I've just always been an Ovies fan since
Shut
the
up,
moment
dude. I'm so
since
bothered. I'm so
since
annoyed by you
since
pretending
the
you're not a Caps fan. It's the funniest shit in the world.
I'm not a Caps fan. I love
I
Ovi.
don't care about the Caps. I love
But
Ovi.
but if I can't, but if you love, it's not like Ovi's one of the few people. It's just like you can't say you love Sidney Crosby and not say you like Pittsburgh,
No,
right?
I
Like
get it.
it's
I understand.
like
I
they're
understand.
synonymous with each other.
And
But
I'm
like I'd rather have Alexander Semin out there winning
Seven.
championships than anything, right? Like give me the old school Caps.
Seven
But
crushed, dude. Love that guy.
dude, Semin crushed. I'd love to see Obi win his cup. Like, I think he said that he's not going to retire, but just like, dude, he breaks Wayne Gretzky's record. He wins his Stanley Cup. Just
Right
r-
off into the sunset.
right off into the sunset with
Skate off.
just do it because at the end of the day, you are one of the top five greatest hockey players of all time.
Trev, I've
In
never
that.
I've never asked this or like looked him up. Is he like a married man? What's his family life like?
Oh yeah. Yep. He's married, Alexander Ovechkin Jr. Um, married
Kids
with a kid, and he's
kids
been
what,
married for
like
a while.
14?
No, no. The
Young
kid's
kid?
like 7,
Okay.
maybe.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got you. I
Maybe
get
like
it.
7. But they have been. Oh my God, it's Biz's birthday, and they have like
Oh,
a crazy
Trav.
thing right now on
The
it.
other thing that we have to talk about is the big freaking news.
What news? What? Oh, the Rangers getting
Your
a new head
your
coach.
well, not that one.
Oh, what news?
You wanted to talk, I believe, you want to talk about what happened, the thing you posted about on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, well, let's. Do you want? Should we just move on from? We'll move on from hockey right now. Intermission's going on. We'll go on. We're gonna start.
It's
But
our
while we
hockey
rant,
intermission
it's
also.
hockey intermission as well. While we do that, I have in front of me, I have 2025 Bowman, the cover athlete to the to this is Charlie Condon, the number 3 overall pick last year from the Colorado Rockies out of the University of Georgia.
The
So,
University of
the,
Georgia.
not the Ohio State, but the
The
University of
Ohio
Georgia.
State.
So, I'll tell you what happened, which is really cool because there is a couple stories behind it. And then I'm gonna go on a rant. Everybody, you're gonna have to bear with me. Travie Patty over here, speaking of SpongeBob, is gonna go on a rant.
Got a
So
bug up his bum bum.
I got a bug up my bum, and I'm gonna talk about it.
All right, Trav. I'm opening a pack also. I've
Open it. What do you
got
got? What do you got for the peeps, Ordy?
I got 24 Series 2
There we go.
and Series 1 23 year.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. You know, I love my 2023s. Shout out to the Rockies. Um, so Sprake Sports has entered into a deal with the Colorado Rockies authentication and memorabilia arm, for lack of a better term. And what that has entailed so far is me. Um, I traded them a few of my high valued items, which I was at the stadium today. I took some pictures of. They're currently on sale and display. It's super cool.
Nice.
Um, and so I made a trade with them, and the trade ended up. You know what? I'm going to go grab it.
Ooh.
I'm going to go grab it. So the trade ended up being I gave them a bunch of my merchandise, and that was Paul Skeen stuff. That was a couple Skeens, some Ichiros,
Matt
some
Olson
uh,
covering the field.
love that. Ken
I
Griffey
know I know
Jr.
where that's
Uh,
going.
a few players, right? So gave that all away, and what I got
Get
in
well,
return
gave it all away.
traded it all away. And what I got in return is this beauty.
Damn, Travis.
It's a base. This is a base. This base is third base from September 27th, 2024. And in the sixth inning of the game against the Colorado Rockies that year, Shohei Ohtani hit a 3-run home run. And that 3-run home run was his 54th home run of the season and the final home run of that season for Shohei Ohtani. And if you didn't know, that year, Shohei Ohtani did something that has never happened in the 124 years of modern baseball, and that was he created the 50-50 club. He had 59 stolen bases and 54 home runs, and this is the 54th home run base. So
The final home run base
the
from
final
the
home run base
50-50 season.
from the 50-50 season. So
Pretty amazing. That's a
this
pretty
is the
amazing get, dude.
this is the last base of his home run trots of 2024 that he touched. If anybody comes at me, this is a base. This is not a plate. Home plate is not a base; it's a plate. So this
That's
is the last
true.
base that he touched when we get to it. So and home plate doesn't exist. I've never because guess what home plate does? It stays in the ground.
Yep.
So this
So,
is
Trav, and that's something we talked about off screen.
offline. Yep,
But
we talked about that offline.
I literally was like, Travis, home plate stays in the ground, right? There's not
Yeah, it
even
stays there.
like for a home run
I don't know if I've ever actually seen a home plate. Like in terms of you
buying
know what
one,
a home plate looks like, obviously. I don't know like I know what a base looks like. I don't know what home plate literally looks like. If
like just a
you
disembodied home
home
plate, just
plate,
like a
yeah, like
loose leaf home
a
plate. I don't know what
loose leaf home plate. Like I don't actually
I
know
don't know what a loose leaf home plate
a home
looks
plate looks like. I really don't. So by the way,
like.
we're doing the Bowman. We're looking for Charlie Condon. That's what we want. The number 3 pick from the Colorado Rockies,
Heck yeah.
and that would be that's what the boys. That's what the boys really want.
That's what the doctor ordered.
Well, this leads to the next part of our conversation pretty seamlessly, actually. Before I go on my rant, is the third card we pulled is Ezekiel Tovar. And
So,
Ezekiel Tovar and um I don't know knock on
ooh,
wood. I don't know really how to say this, but
rookie Heston.
I should be. Ooh, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Uh,
beast.
I am theoretically going to be doing a little trade with Ezekiel Tovar.
With the
Uh,
actual Ezekiel
with the
Tovar.
actual Ezekiel Tovar. I have a few of his one of
Oh,
ones.
yes.
What'd you get? What'd you do?
Oh, look, I don't know who this guy is, but
Paul Skeens? Oh,
a rookie signature, Connor Phillips of the
dude, you got a
Reds.
sig? You got a sig from a random pack?
A sig of 199, brother.
Let's
What? What's
go!
going
Let's go!
on,
Dude,
dude?
there's our slab. We already got our slab for Sunday. Let's go. Ordog
What?
out of just a loosely packed.
Brother, he signed the cock. He signed his dick,
He
bro.
signed his dick. He really did sign his dick.
Connor
He went right
Phillips
in.
with the dick sig, bro. What is
Is that
going
on
on?
card? Is that on card or a sticker?
Oh, it's on card as on card could be, bro.
Yeah, on cock
On
card.
cock on card.
On cock card.
Connor Phillips on cock
Wow.
on God, my man. What are you doing out
On
here,
cock
Connor?
on God. Um.
Damn.
So back to what I was saying, because just
Sorry,
because it's in my hand.
that's a pull right there. Hold on,
That is, dude, are
I gotta
you kidding me?
sleep him up.
Document it. Sleeve. War dog. That's a skadoosh. Oh, is this numbered?
Are you
It's not.
skadooshin over there?
Not a skadoosh, but definitely a skadoosh. Um, Stung Chi Cheng from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bowman first, and it's got like it's like a snake. I don't even know. It's like a snake. Like I don't even know how else to
Whoa,
describe that, but like a snake refractor.
that's
It's
sick.
not numbered, but that's Swag
Oh,
King Cole.
like a skin. Interesting.
It was like a skin. Oh, so I am going to be doing a little trade, hopefully.
Trev,
Uh,
I spent 12. I spent $10 on this pack.
do you know what sucks, Ordog? Is I spent more than that on this entire box, and I'm going to get one autograph.
Trev, I literally can't believe I pulled just an auto rookie card, dude. This is
Ooh,
crazy.
Travis Bazana, number one pick from last year. There we go. That's the first little one out of that
Oh,
one.
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Like,
good one.
like how that looks.
Ooh, Colton Emerson, 104 of 250. Here we go. We're cooking with some gas right now,
Dude, I
boys.
pulled a signature of 199. You're pulling an of 250. We got we got a
A
bunch of
little,
great stuff here.
we got a Nick Kurtz VIP card. There we go.
So what are you pulling right now? What is this called, Trav?
This is just 2025 Bowman. This is just the Bowman
Bowman. Okay,
2025.
standard Bowman 2025.
Standard Bowman. And then, dude, maybe this snake skin is just like part of all the packs, and I just didn't realize because there's 2 for 2 with some snake skins.
Okay.
I'm
It
liking the
it
snake
looks cool.
skins. Mm. So back to what we were getting at. I am trading. Hopefully, he's got to get back in the lineup. I am trading Ezekiel Tovar. I have two of his one of ones, and so I am trading Zeke, um, who I found out today is called his boys call him Toby.
Hey,
Um,
really quick.
s- yeah.
Connor Phillips is in AAA ball right now.
All right, but like
So
Ordog, it's you
no,
can't
it's a
complain
huge
right now.
pull. It's a huge pull. All right, go on, Trev. Sorry, I'll be
I don't
quiet.
think you give. Hey, there we go. A little. Everybody loves Paul Skeens. Come on, baby. Everybody
Hey,
loves him.
that's a good one right there.
Everybody loves Paul Skeens.
Everybody loves skins.
Skeens. Nobody hurts. Um,
True.
and so I am hopefully going to be trading Zeke a couple of his one-on-ones for a game used jersey and
Whoa.
and batting practice ticket.
Hey,
So I'll go down for BP, which
do you like
I'm actually really stoked for.
do you like
BP
Pete
steak.
Alonso?
I love the polar bear.
Pete
Don't even
Polar
get me
Pete.
started.
How about
I love the
how about a
polar
nice
bear.
rookie Adley Rutschman?
Oh, that is a good one. Are you in 2023 right now?
I grabbed the
Okay,
2023s
okay, okay, okay. I was
and
like, I heard Adley Rushman rookie. I
Aaron
never heard of this guy.
Judge.
Aaron.
Just a standard Aaron Judge.
All right, Ordog. I hate to interrupt this. I
What's
really
up?
do.
It's time for the Travis
Um,
Rantanen.
I need to go on Amico Rantanen really quickly, and everybody's gonna have to bear with me. Ordog, if you want to chime in
Okay.
and have your comments.
And
Uh,
I have already told Travis, or I guess we should. I don't know anything about what Travis is about to say, except
yeah.
that it's about the Rockies
Oh, all right. Here
organization.
we go. Here we go. Speaking of the Colorado Rockies, I know we're not, whatever about it, but cover athlete Charlie Condon pulled first Charlie Condon card, Bowman first. I'm super
Wow,
jazzed on this.
wow,
This is what
that's
I want.
this is
I
big
really
for the
want to
Rocks
pull
collector.
for the Rocks collector. My buddy gave me a moniker that I don't know if I really liked. He said I am the one of the highest end Rockies collectors, and I don't know how I really feel about that. But
I
we're
I
gonna go with it.
I feel good about it. Can I, Travis, really, really quick? I'm so sorry. I don't know what I just got.
Hit me, Becky. Oh, you now know what you got. What did you just get? What did you do?
Are these, Travis? I
What
don't
did
know
you
if
just
these are as
do?
big as I think. I got an all aces Clayton Kershaw.
Is it numbered?
No.
All
So it's
right, then
probably
it's not.
not that big.
Yeah, the numbered one of those are fire.
I think I got just a standard ace of diamonds Clayton Kershaw, but oh my god, dude.
Oh
What?
yes, and I just saw who I got on the.
Just a crazy cool card. Sorry.
I just saw who I just got on the back end of this, and you're gonna love this too.
And by the way,
Um,
the back, it's just a card. Like it is like a card. You can see the
yeah,
edges.
yeah, yeah. No, it
The
is. It's
corners
sick.
are also
It's kind of sick.
corners are rounded like an actual baseball card, or excuse me, a playing card, not a
All
baseball
right,
card.
Luke Sennard, 39 of 150. But it's not that you're gonna love, David.
What am I gonna love, Travis?
We got D'Angelo Ortiz, aka David Ortiz's son's Bowman first.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
Both
I
his
do love
sons have
that.
one. Both his sons have one. David Ortiz Jr. has one too. And so
I
does Manny Ramirez's son.
Travis,
Yeah.
how many Nolan Joneses are there in the league?
Well, just one.
What does he play?
He plays left field.
I just got his rookie card.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so funny. Yeah, that is Dylan Jones' rookie card. And then but he got traded from Cleveland to the Colorado Rockies. So that card, show that card again to the people. th- Cops Photoshop that card. You can get that
It's
exact same card, but he's in
Rockies.
Rockies gear. Yup.
Well, Travis, you know who's getting this one?
The trash because he no longer plays for the Rockies.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, was that where you were going with it? Is
That's
that
what I was. Yeah, because we've
yeah,
talked recently about it. So
yeah. Dude, we got another of 250. We've got a bunch of numbered cards already. Eduardo Quintero of the Colorado or of the Los Angeles Dodgers, 193 of 250 Bowman first. We've got a bunch of 250s.
jeez, dude, getting
We
getting the numbies out here,
we're
literally.
getting the numbers. So Ordog, we put it off, I think,
All
long
right,
enough.
set. Yes, yes.
Um, I need to go on a slight rant. And I'm going to do a post on this on my Instagram. I'm going to write it all out. Anybody that knows me knows I'm quite loquacious and I'm a storyteller. So I will be telling a story. But I I just need to talk about this really quickly, which is I love the game of baseball. I truly, utterly love the game of baseball. And I have loved the game of baseball for my entire life. I've loved the game of baseball. And, I remember when I was a teenager and I'd sit in my house on my family computer and go to the MLB website and refresh it,
Just to
hoping that
look.
in the off season, hoping that in that 5 minutes, you something new would be released that the Boston Red Sox had signed someone.
Right.
And anybody that's our age understands that because we didn't have Twitter then. You didn't have like the news sites that broke it, like Bleacher Report or any of the insiders that had the way that
Roto Rooter.
yeah, the only
Wait,
way that
Roto
you
World? That's what I'm thinking of.
Roto World, the only way that you found out about things was directly through, the oh wow. All right.
Travis.
That's pretty cool.
Travis just
Um,
derailed himself. Let's just
I did. I derailed myself because I got a um what is that? That feels like a little nick. Maybe it's not. I can't really tell. I don't really care. Uh Charlie Condon's Colorado Card Cave. Insert Charlie Condon. The
Whoa. That's
yeah,
cool.
that's a nice little Charlie Condon. Yeah, I'm super stoked on that. That's gonna be set aside. So I used to sit there. Anybody that's our age would understand the only way you could get news was through that, right? And I remember where I was when, um, Aaron Boone hit the home run in 2003. I knew, I knew every aspect of where I was in 2004 when the Boston Red Sox finally won the World Series. And, I think not to say it, but it's true. As I grew up and I got to high school and I moved on to college, while I still loved the game of baseball, it wasn't really everything that I had before, right?
Sure.
And okay, I'm not gonna do this again. I'm at 20% and I'm gonna put this on.
Oh, Travis. I hope we
Sorry,
didn't lose him.
no, I had to
All
put
right,
my
all right, we're
phone
good.
on
We're good.
low I'm putting my phone on low. Phone needs to go on low power mode so that I don't lose you guys again. Um All right, we're
Oh
good.
my
We're
goodness.
back. We're back.
All
We're
right.
back.
What's it
We
gonna
had to
be,
go on
Travis?
low power mode. So, as I grew up and as things changed and stuff, it's not that I fell out of love with the game of baseball. I just didn't follow it really as much. I just didn't. It wasn't something that was all up in my grill and making me, sweat every moment of my life while I was, in late high school and in college. And, when I graduated, obviously in 2013, when the Sox won the World Series, I was fucking ecstatic. I was all over the place. In 2015, when the Mets went to the World Series, of course, I was highly involved. You had one of the greatest rotations that the Mets had ever theoretically assembled. Like, I was there, right?
Yes.
And, when I lived in Manhattan, I was there and I loved baseball. But, you know, when I moved here to the state of Colorado, I started to go to baseball games not on like a monthly occurrence, like on a weekly, daily occurrence.
Right.
I'd go to baseball games, and
You
I'd
did
go
do
to
that when you worked for them also. Not the Rockies. When you worked for baseball,
when I
you
worked for
also went to
baseball.
baseball every day. But
I
that's
did,
it. But
but I
I'm
didn't get to
derailing. Just
watch.
go.
No,
Sorry.
no, no, no. But I didn't get to watch those baseball games.
That's fair.
I had to work
You
those
were
baseball
working.
games.
It's fair.
I didn't really get to do that. Ooh, Nick York rookie. This is a really cool rookie card. Look at this. It's got like the pennant on the top. It's like kind of
Oh yeah, that's great.
a little
And it's
unique.
like swooped as well. The card is cut
A
for
little,
the
yeah, it's
pennant.
pretty sweet. So I didn't really get to go to games during that, and this is really
I
the
get it.
first time since I was a kid, and my dad had season tickets to the Mets that I actually really would go to baseball games on just the regular. And, as a result of that and the team that I was going to see, I fell in love with the Rockies. It's not that I like them more than the Mets or I like them more than the Red Sox. I'll never like them more than both of them. But like I I understand them more now because of the whole going to games. I actually probably know the entire farm system of the Colorado Rockies better than I do the Mets and the Red Sox, right?
Yeah.
But in, we don't need to get down that rabbit hole. But what it's done is I've I've gotten to know so many people at the Colorado at Coors Field. I've gotten to know, so many of the ins and outs of the franchise. I've been fortunate enough to speak to, some of the players on the occasional time. And you really end up falling in love with them, right? And they are the lovable you losers. They'll never be anything that you ever thought that they were going to be. They'll never, I'm not sitting here expecting, playoff ambitions from the Rockies like I ever am the Red Sox or anything like that. But when you sit there and you meet these people and you meet the uh the players and the members of the team, this organization truly, utterly deserves success. It does. I think it's been always kind of out of the norm and out of the media and out of the faces of the public. And the fact that the Colorado Rockies are now getting, you know, media and general public attention because of how historically bad they are
Right.
is brutal to me.
Right.
It's just
Because
it's it's
Trev,
just brutal to me.
it doesn't feel that long ago that they were in the big game.
Dude, they were in the World Series in 2007. They made the playoffs 4
Got
years
him.
ago.
By the way,
Got him.
got him.
Got
Got
him. Got him. Got
him.
him.
They were in the playoffs in '07. Got him.
Yeah, they were in the playoffs in '07, but got him. But like, they weren't D'Angelo Ortiz Chrome.
Ooh,
Love that.
a second
Um, a
D'Angelo.
second D'Angelo. And so, I think that people look at this franchise as helpless. And, you know, the Manfreds need to sell the team. Like they
Hmm.
they really do at the end of the day. I don't think they put any time or effort or money or anything that they need to into the team.
Okay, that
And
sounds really like not how you should run a team.
they couldn't care less if they finished first or last as long as people showed up.
Yeah,
And, I think that the organization and so many of the players deserve vastly more. Let's go.
Travis.
Um, not an autograph, but I have heard about these. The Bowman firsts or the Bowmans have the red rookie cards, and I've
Okay,
got to look up what the
rarity and
rarity and the stuff behind it, but they are it's see how the rookie card the first season red.
it looks cool, man.
It is the rookie one of it. I'm putting that aside. So I just think at the end of the day, the organization deserves more, and the players deserve more. And it's not like anyone that sits there and thinks that these players are half-assing it, and they're not doing what they need to do to be successful is just fucking lying. They're just fucking lying. I Kyle Freeland's press conference answer when he was asked, if you had a message for the fans, what's your message? And he's like, keep fighting, keep coming, keep believing in
We
us.
got
And
this.
he
Yeah.
and he started to cry and he walked off. And I was at the game that press. Kyle Freeland got shelled. He
Yeah.
got absolutely shelled.
And to still have that attitude.
And he sat there and he was just like, I'm he's heartbroken over this. This is not something that he wants. This is not something that they want. And it's ooh, we got our auto. Here we go. Walker Jenkin, dude, another of 250. We have been crushing the of 250s. Walker Jenkin of 250 Bowman Ertz.
Wow, that's nice, dude.
That's
That's
a
real
nice
nice.
little. That's a nice little
That's
scoop.
real nice there.
That's a real nice theory, buddy. Um, and I think that it, these are all professional players, right? There's no two ways about it. Kyle Freeland has pitched more games for the Colorado Rockies than anybody else from a starting position,
Okay.
and you know, it somewhat seems like this team is Murphy's Law right now. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong for this team at any given point. In the game today, which I was at, dude, they played the way that the Colorado Rockies should play baseball.
It
Herman
went well.
Marquez, it went well. Herman Marquez pitched great. He pitched really well. He pitched really well. He had one bad inning, but he quelled the inning. And then, what the bats were alive. The bats were hitting, and they did it against a good pitcher. Nick Pavetta is a good friggin' pitcher.
Yeah.
He was 5-1 on the season.
Pavetta is a
And
solid pitcher, dude.
he's a solid pitcher, and he was able to deliver. They were able to deliver and to show up in a way that they haven't really done at all this entire season. And it kind of, ooh, that's a good one. Luis Angel Acuna rookie card from the New York Mets. That's a really good one.
Wow, a Metter.
A
Travi
Metter.
loves a Metter.
I do love a Metter. And I think, Ordog, at the end of the day, none of them want this to be happening. I think all of them are trying their fucking damnedest to
Yeah.
have things go differently. But something's got to give, man. Something's got to change. The players can give what they want. They can do everything, and it kind of somewhat started because through the game today. What's his name got fired? Bud Black got fired.
Bud
You
Black
know, the game, dude,
out.
I'm not kidding you. The game ended, and within 5 minutes, they announced they won the game. And within
That's
5 minutes,
crazy.
they announced Bud Black was fired, which means that it was a it was a
Foregone conclusion.
foregone conclusion. And dude, maybe that I hate to say it, maybe that's why they did so well. Like everyone knew that he was going to be fired, and so
Yeah.
they fucking like turned it up, and they actually showed up. But
Travis, I feel like I had the impression that Bud Black was not hated or anything amongst the group, but it does seem like right now, like it was like, oh
dude,
yeah, time for Bud Black to leave.
not at all. You know, I think Bud Black he's a highly respected manager, right? And
Yeah.
um,
So that's
you know, he's done a good job, but like it just hasn't really worked out
it just
that
hasn't.
well. And
Yeah.
I don't think, and you can quote me on this, I don't think Bud Black was at any point the problem,
Sure.
right? Like I don't think there was any time where you'd sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, like Bud Black is the issue." But as you say, something's got to give, right? You can't fire the whole team, and as a result, Bud Black was the one who got the axe.
What's
But
what's the Bruins coach name? Not it wasn't Brenda Moore. Was it Brenda Moore? Who got fired at the beginning of the year?
oh, I forget, I forget.
It was now he's St. Louis's coach. Oh my god,
No,
what? It's not Rod. Is it Rod or is it
I don't know. You're gonna look it up.
Yeah, I am. No, it's not Rod because it was Rod was the last one. This is why am I so long story short, Bruins were like excited. Dude, I have every other guy Giroux in my head. Oh my
Loud,
god.
loud.
I hate it. I hate it right now. Montgomery. Jim Montgomery was dished out, was fired, just straight fired by the Bruins. And
Yeah.
then so here's the thing. It's like the Bruins got rid of Montgomery and kept Marchand and then got rid of Marchand. And it was like, couldn't you have just gotten rid of
Yeah,
Marchand?
Marshawn. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But in any case, I made that very much about my Bruins, but there was like a similar like feeling that I had, you know?
Yeah, and dude, at the end of the day, I think it's really hard. Uh, it's kind of like a rolling stone, right? Like once the stone starts going, like it's kind of hard to stop.
You got to
And
be an exceptional person to get it to stop.
yeah, and I have heard from some people that are vastly more in the know than I am that Schaefer, who is the third base coach, who is now becoming their interim head coach, is like a baseball savant.
Okay,
And you know,
good.
he was the yard I think he was the Hartford Yard Goats head coach when they won the championship, something like that. But y- I think there is a sense is that he may be a better person at the helm for what the Rockies need to do. And
Right.
I think, maybe having someone more modern, more up to date, more everything will be a kick in the pants, right? Like a
Sure.
more, get the people going, figuring it out thing. But
Also,
yeah, balls so hard and motherfuckers won't find me. Um, but I think that it's too early to tell, right? Like I'm gonna be very interested to see how this road trip goes. Um, you know what I'm gonna do because we can keep talking about this. I have a mini pack or I have a booster that we can or a blaster that we can
a
open.
blaster.
Oh, blasty blast. So, dude, I'm hopeful, but I'm also sitting there just like everybody in this organization deserves better than what the ownership is providing. You know, it's not enough to have one of the best ballparks in baseball and be such just like an to mediocre team.
Yeah.
Like there's not you're not getting higher much higher than mediocre, right? Like it's they the win today made sure that they tied the worst start in Major League Baseball history through this number of games, right? It's not
Yes.
like if they lost this game, it would have been the worst start in Major League Baseball history.
Right.
And dude, everyone here deserves more than that. Everyone here deserves more than that. And it's just kind of eh, like, are the players gonna be the ones that are gonna provide it, or is ownership gonna
Nut up.
finally just nut up, get the hell out of there, and let the people have what they want? Because as it's very interesting to think about, but like dude, there are such things as cheap billionaires. And but that's kind of why they're billionaires,
It,
right?
well,
Like
maybe. It depends
but
on the billionaire.
not every ownership, not every team, not every anything can be owned by Steve Cohen, right?
Sure.
Not every organization can be owned by someone that's not only, you know, just asininely wealthy, right? Like, let's talk about wealth.
Insanely wealthy
Insanely wealthy, but
and very interested in the success of the
but
team.
but very interested in the sex. Like, they need
Wait,
that
wait. In
team.
the
I
success.
success. Yeah, I cut myself off. Um, of
Very
the
you just
team.
said very interested in the sex.
No, no, I said and then poor dog, you're yelling. Mm, But like,
Travis,
not.
you're projecting.
But
You're
he's a Mets fan.
yeah,
Steve Cohen is a Mets fan.
right.
And he bought the team because, dude, if Travis Sprague ever becomes a billionaire, you don't think I'm going to do everything in my power to buy the New York Rangers and make sure the New York Rangers win a Stanley Cup
There
if
we
they
go.
haven't done it at that point? Like,
There we
then,
go.
if you don't think that, you know nothing about me. And like,
Well,
I,
so Trav, that's what I think it take. That's what I think it takes to be successful at that level is to be completely obsessed, not in it for the business. Like maybe people will say like Tom Brady was in it for the business. He thought about the long-term play of always being the champion, but he never took the money because he wanted the team, right?
he 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 Tom Brady, if you didn't know this, never took a max contract. Fun fact. Never took a max
And there's a
contract.
ton of quarterbacks out there who have. A
And
ton
have
of them who have. At
and
the
have
same time Tom
never
Brady was
succeeded
saying no.
and have never had half the success that Tom Brady's had.
Yeah. And some people would say, "Oh, it's calculated. It's a move to make more money on the other side where he gets all these championships and endorsements and whatever else." Okay, fine. That's all calculated too, but you realize, it takes a team and it takes an understanding that there's commitment and buy-in at all levels and
But like,
that if you want
what's more of a shout out to the heart of a champion? Is it someone who takes the max contracts all the time, or the best person that takes what they can deal with, so that the rest of the team can have more money, so that the team can be successful,
and
not them be successful.
and yes, we understand that he was also married to a person who made
More
millions
money
of
than anybody else in the world. But
millions of
yeah,
dollars every year. But again, in the context of uh, even in those contexts, those people are still making the highest dollar decisions they can. And Tom Brady continually said, "I'm valuing the team. I'm valuing the
first.
success of the players around me and myself in a statistical way
Yep.
before I value the wealth that comes as a result of it."
150%. And I think that just goes to the whole um
Part of a champion.
part of a champion, dude. Part of an a- part of a lion. Part
By
of a
the
lion.
by the way, when you think about a champion, when you think about somebody who puts in a maximum level of effort to overachieve and to make sure that things that seem impossible become a reality, I got to say, Travis, are you looking at a Shohei Ohtani 54th home run of 54 base somewhere in your living room right now? That's pretty unreal, dude.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's the heart of a champion, or dog.
Part of a champion.
That's the heart of a
That's the
champion.
base of a champion.
That's the base of a champion. That is what, it's wild. Like, I started this company on the basis of, you know, connecting to
Third.
history, right? Like making history,
Bring history home.
yeah, bringing history home. And I'm sitting here looking at my memorabilia that's, sitting on the other side of this camera, right? Like,
Oh, it's crazy.
I got a Jackie Robinson baseball staring me in the face. I got 3 of the New York Mets World Series balls in my face. I've
Balls in your
got
face.
balls in my face. I've got an of 5 Carl Yastrzemski and David Ortiz card. I got an autograph from Satchel Paige. I got my shrine
Cool.
to Hank Aaron and Willie Mays sitting over there. I got Trout, Freddie Freeman,
Teddy ball game.
Eddie Ball Game, Sandy Koufax,
Sandy go.
Nolan Ryan, Paul
Hey, he
Skeens.
was all right.
He
Paul
was all
Skeens is
right.
pretty good.
Johnny Goudreau, uh,
Johnny.
Johnny Keys,
Custom Johnny card.
my custom dude. If anybody knows anything, and you take anything away from this, m- I have baseball memorabilia everywhere, everywhere. The thing that is front and center in my memorabilia around my TV and everything is my one of one custom card of Johnny Goudreau. So if you know anything about me, know that Johnny Goudreau is numero uno, and it will
Hmm.
never move. If when I move from here from this house, it'll be because I have a wife, and she's got to know Johnny Goudreau is hanging over the
In the
mantelpiece.
middle. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Goudreau is hanging over the
Johnny
mantelpiece.
Gaudreau, Grandpa, the rest of the family, they're all up there.
They're all up there.
Yeah.
But dude, it is. I got some cool stuff. Mookie Betts. I got Mookie over there. The Satchel Paige and Jackie and Pee Wee Reese are my favorite for
Oh
sure.
my God. That's so cool. The Pee Wee Reese, I mean, the Jackie. Nothing's cooler than the Jackie. Literally. Nothing is cooler than the Jackie. It's
I don't
unreal.
know. The Ty Cobb's pretty up there.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's what, twice as old, maybe?
Twice. Nah, yeah, maybe. I'm
That's
trying to think.
pretty cool.
I
Ty Cobb, pretty awesome.
if I'm ranking right, like if I'm trying to compare to Jackie Robinson. The only other thing I could really bring up that I think would be somewhat on the level is the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team photo with Herb Brooks. That's from a personal and um,
Collector.
collector, personal, historic. That's pretty legit. It's
Pretty
it's
legit.
it's it's a different style of or different sense of history and all that. But it's not that. It's I obviously Jackie Robinson is arguably the most important thing that's ever happened in
Right.
the history of professional sports, right?
In professional sports, I don't think you're wrong. I think it's like it just is such a moment. It's such a moment for
Everything.
America.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
just like it's a moment, right? It's a moment and it's a
yeah,
turning point and everything. But I think like when but people weren't not everybody was super for it. If you know
obviously,
it.
sure,
Not
which is
everybody
why
was
it was
super
so
for it,
big, right? Because it was
which
a
is why it's so
controversy.
big. And for that reason, I think that there is this sense that like there are few things in this country that have happened that have just united this country in a way that's ever happened, right?
Nine
Then
11.
9/11 killing Osama bin Laden, right?
Yeah,
You know, World War II, right? When the World War II happened, bombing of Pearl Harbor, but those are like wars,
yeah,
and it's not crazy to think that the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team is far off because of the Cold War, right? It's
right,
still war related, right?
right.
It was a front that we could beat the fucking
Russia.
commies,
Yep.
and you know
At their game,
at
not at their
their
game, but
at
like
their no, but at their
at
game,
their game.
at their
Exactly.
game, it was at their
At the
game.
Canadians game,
Yeah, but at
but
the
not
time, it
our
was the
game.
Russians' game. The
Exactly.
Russians were
Exactly.
the ones that did it, and I think that there are. if Jackie Robinson integrating baseball may be the most infamous moment in this country's history.
Well,
And the use of
not infamous now, but yeah,
no, but
sure.
at the time it was unheard of.
Very
It was
controversial.
it
Yeah,
was the shot heard round the world, right? And I think that they're hard to compare, but they're equally, as important in different realms,
sure.
in different realms
I get what you're saying.
of what has happened in this country. And it's fun to have that. It's
It's
kind
fun to
of
have that.
it's fun to have that. It's fun to be reminded of that. Like it's I think that people forget about, you know, sports are so integrated into our national pastime and our history. Like, dude, it's so hard to walk through my house and not just like look back in time and like
Mm.
think about things in a different respect. And it's one of the reason I understand why people read fiction. I really do. But like, I don't know. I like living in a time that I'd never know and I'd never understand. And fantasy's great, but nothing's stranger than fiction. And uh dude, I don't know. I love reading all the books about it. I'm reading the Sandy Koufax book now, which is great. So we'll have some catch ups on that.
Dude, they should have a facts book about Sandy Koufax called Sandy Koufax.
That's the dumbest, greatest thing I've ever heard in my
For sure.
entire
For
life.
sure. For sure. Sandy Koufax
Wow.
was a
So
baseball player.
so we're gonna
Was also
um
Jewish.
it was also Jewish. Uh didn't pitch in the World Series when they needed him because of Yom Kippur.
Dude, damn, dude.
You don't know this story? Oh
No,
my
no, I did.
god.
I mean, I did, but I gotta ham it up a little
Okay.
bit.
Okay. So this is a really good
It's a
story.
it's a
You
story.
don't
All
know this.
good Jewish
All good
boys.
Jewish boys know. Sandy Koufax may be the most famous Jewish athlete. Am I wrong in that? Am I wrong?
No, no,
Okay.
it's him
It's
and Euclid,
yeah,
and that's it.
that's pretty much it.
There's more.
So
There's more, but I'm not going to get into it.
yeah, Rod Carew,
Julian
Rod
Edelman,
Carew,
pretty huge.
Rod Carew.
Yeah,
But he converted as
Edelman,
yeah, Edelman.
but
Um,
whatever. We're not gonna. We're not
we're
just
not
gonna
gonna get
name them all.
yeah,
That's not
we're
what
not
we're
gonna name them
doing
all.
here.
We're
There's a
not
lot of
doing it.
Jews in sports. We're
There's
just not gonna
Jews
name them
important. That's
all.
not the point. So the game one of the World Series in I'm not even gonna try to get the date. It was in the 60s. Um was on Yom Kippur. And Sandy Koufax, being a devout Jewish person, didn't pitch on Yom Kippur. And so Don Drysdale pitched.
Yep.
And Don Drysdale got fucking lit up. Lit, lit. And
That's
Don
brutal.
Drysdale is a Hall of Fame pitcher, right?
Yeah.
And so the story goes that the manager is coming to get Don Drysdale off the mound, like pulling him after he's been shelled like it's World War II. And he looks at the manager and goes, "I bet you wish I was Jewish."
That's a wild. It's a wild thing to
Un-
say. It's
Unbelievable.
very funny.
Unbelievable.
It's
Uh,
very funny.
and
Goodness.
then Colfax came back and they won the World Series because Sandy Koufax is arguably the top five greatest pitchers in Major League Baseball history.
Travis, what was his primary pitch? Do you know that?
He threw two pitches.
Okay.
He literally threw two pitches.
What fast and curve?
Yup.
That's
And
what can you
and
do?
and so I learned this. I learned this in the book, which is hilarious. He was like asked, which is like, well, what if you need to like throw him off speed? He just goes, I'll just throw it harder.
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 His
Yeah,
off
yeah,
speed pitch.
yeah, yeah.
Harder.
He goes, I'll just throw it harder, which
That's
is
great.
just an
That's great.
insane statement. Um,
He's literally saying what off speed, dude.
what off speed? And he threw, dude. We'll do a thing on Sandy Koufax at some point.
Oh, that'd be
He
great.
is a freak. Like he was doing pitching mechanics before pitching mechanics were pitching mechanics.
That's that doesn't surprise me at all.
Like unbelievable. If only arthritis didn't kick in, he would have been. It's crazy. He's one of the greatest of all time. Like, but imagine what he could have been, right? Which is crazy.
Imagine he
Like
could have been the greatest
the
of all
greatest of
time
all time,
times five.
5 times, right? Times five. Um, because like you think about it, and I was like, if you had one pitcher in their prime and that person had to win a game, who would it be? And I only have like two pitchers that I know of that I'd put in, and one is Sandy Koufax, and the second is,
Tim Wakefield.
I mean, no, but like I love
Well,
Wakefield.
then fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on
I,
you, dude. That's on
It is on me.
you, bro.
You really fucking turned that coin on me. You took my absolute love of Tim Wakefield and was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking entrap him right now.
No,
I'm gonna
he's a
absolutely.
knuckleballer, dude. I'm also thinking about pitches. So if you already have the curve fastballer, then we got to get the knuckleballer in
No,
there.
no, no,
That's my
no, no,
thought.
no, no. If
Anyway. So
you,
who's your guy? Who's your guy? Shut up.
it would be Pedro. If I had to
All
pick,
right, fair
if I
enough,
had to
dude.
pick one
Pedro.
in their prime of prime,
Pedro was
Pedro
disgust. All right, we can't.
disgusting.
Travis, we have to find a button, dude. We got to end this thing.
We do.
We
We're just
can't
gonna
keep
end
going.
it. We're just gonna keep going. Or dog,
Perfect.
as we always do. Final thoughts for the people, my friend.
This has been great, Travis. I'm very excited for you. I'm so happy that there's a Shohei Ohtani bag sitting across from you in that room. That's the coolest thing.
It's right
Um,
there. It's right there. I'm looking at it.
we pulled fun stuff today. I mean,
You got an autograph. I got an autograph. We both got
we
autographs.
got
We
fun
got some of that.
stuff.
I got a few Charlie Condons, which was the whole point of doing this entire thing was looking for Charlie Condons.
Yep, that's good. I did
Um,
that. I just did that.
and we got a couple, and I got a red rookie. I got one of the red rookie cards. I got to look up the rarity in it. Adrian Del Castillo was the red rookie that we got. But yeah, I gotta look that up. I'm stoked. It's super fun. I'm jazzed, bro. I'm absolutely jazzed.
Well,
I'm
Travis,
I'm chuffed to bits, as they
chuffed,
say.
chuffed.
Chuffed, chuffed to
What do you
bits. I'm
think?
chuffed to
We'll
bits.
do it again next Sunday or what, dude?
Yeah, we'll do it next Sunday. And we'll do it next Sunday. Or dog.
Bye,
Peace,
buddy.
brother.
Peace.